So again, I posted a video and I talked about Marvin Bush. Well, Marvin Bush is the youngest son of George W. Bush. And prior to getting involved in the business he was involved in when the Twin Towers were taken down, he was also involved as a director with the defunct Silverado Savings and Loan in Denver. It looks like the family's always dabbled in both war and finance. You also want to do a little bit of Googling about Jeb Bush before he became governor and see the kind of financial involvement he had in being bailed out by the government for the tune of millions of dollars. I did videos earlier on Prescott Bush the First. Well, Prescott Bush the First, he used to sell weapons during the First World War. Didn't care who bought them, just as long as they paid for them. Sold them to both sides of the conflict. And then his son, Prescott Bush II, well, he went into finance, as I stated in the other videos. And he helped fund the Nazi war machine. And then we know what George Bush did. He was a war hero. And he also was involved in Desert Storm. And then we know what his son did. George W. Bush started the longest war in America's history. And we're now learning about Marvin. You really want to do a little bit of Googling. I'm going to attach a link, and the title of it is Bush Crime Family Review. What's amazing is that for 12 years, we've had Bushes leading this country. George did it for 4, and George W. did it for 8. It's really scary when you realize the kind of people that end up in the Oval Office. It appears that most of them should never have been there, including the present occupier, Barack Hussein Obama. He's probably the worst because we know nothing about him. And what we do know about him is, as I've said countless times, frightening. You want to read up on the Bush family. In one of the videos that I read, there's also speculation that Marvin might be being groomed to one day be president. Folks, I don't make the news. All I do is what I do. And sometimes I find little tidbits of information that I feel I need to share, such as I'm doing in this instance. But do your own Googling. Google Jeb Bush bailout. I did a video and I talked about the wealthiest president we have. Well, George W. Bush. Now that might not be true because Obama might have, who knows what he's got stuffed away. But as far as records and information that we have, George W. Bush, the wealthiest. When you find out how some of these folks make money, it's just frightening. And I'm talking about a whole lot of money. Hundreds of millions of dollars. It's crazy. You also see the strong connection that George W. Bush had with the Middle East, if you do your own Googling, with the king of Saudi Arabia when he was alive. I don't know, folks. Read the article. Do your own Googling. Tell me what you think. You got a pretty good idea as to what I think, don't you?